Hey, what's going on everybody? This your boy Juan again, back at it with another video, but this time we're going to do an unboxing / first look at the all new Samsung Galaxy Note 8. Now, just a quick rundown about what happened with last year's Note 7 model. Samsung had to recall millions of Galaxy Note 7s due to a faulty battery. A lot of us thought that Samsung was going to discontinue the Note line, but fortunately for us Note fans, Samsung is back at it again with an even better device. Now, I actually received the device about 2 days ago, which is about 4 days earlier than the official launch. So I have gotten to play with it for a few days, and I'm gonna be going through some of the features with you guys. But first, I wanna show you guys the unboxing and what actually comes in the box. Let's check it out. Alright guys, so this is the box. Like always, Samsung does a very good job with the presentation. It's a very sleek box. The device also came with this Gear 360, which was actually free. It's a 360 degrees camera. Okay, so let's get it out the box. Okay. Oh, there it is, guys. Wow, it's a really good looking device. Now, if you guys compare it with the Galaxy S8, the Galaxy S8 does have more rounded corners, and the Note 8 is actually more squared. Now, this time Samsung actually went with a dual camera on the back. This is a first for Samsung, and they're actually playing catch up compared to other devices that have had the dual camera on the back. The device feels great on the hands. It's longer than the S8, but it's the same width, so it feels good on the hand. You really can't tell that it's actually a bigger phone. Now, as always, you are going to get instruction manuals. You get your USB cords. It also comes included with 8kg headphones, which are really good. If you buy these at the store, these are $100, so it's kind of nice that they included it in the box. It comes with extra ear tips, the power brick. Here we have adapters from USB to USB Type-C. And there you go, guys. That's pretty much what comes in the box. Let's take the wrappers out. Look at that. Clean. I love the black finish all around. You can barely see the screen. The screen actually curves into the body of the phone, so it feels like you're holding one solid piece of black glass. Looks pretty nice, guys. It feels amazing. Okay, so now that we got the phone out the box, I want to get into a little bit more detail on 3 aspects of the phone. 1 being the design, 2 being the specs / hardware, and lastly, we're going to talk about the software. There is a lot to cover with this device, so I'm going to focus on those 3 topics that I find the most important. So first off, let's talk about the design. Now, the Galaxy Note 8 comes with Gorilla Glass 5 in front and in back of the device. I like the squareness over the roundness of other phones like the Galaxy S8. This phone just looks a little bit more professional, a little bit more premium. Now, another reason that Samsung decided to go with a more squarish design is the S Pen. A wider phone just has more room to write on. So Samsung decided to go with a little bit more flatter design and a little bit less curve on the edges. The phone does come with 2 12-megapixel cameras on the back, which is a first for Samsung. For the Galaxy Note 8, Samsung decided to go with a 6.3 AMOLED display with a 2:1 aspect ratio. Samsung is no stranger to AMOLED displays. They've been doing this for a few years now on the Galaxy line, so an AMOLED display on the S8 is no brainer. There's almost no bezels on this phone. The curved screen on the edges almost makes it seem like the screen has no end to it. At first glance, it might seem like a pretty big phone, but when you get a hold of it, you will find out that it does not feel as big on the hand. Now, on top of the phone, we have a SIM card tray that also doubles as a mini SD reader for expandable storage up to 256 gigabytes. On the right side of the phone, you have the power button. At the bottom, we have the S Pen, we have the speaker grip, USB Type-C, and yes guys, we still have a headphone jack. And on the left side, we have a dedicated Bixby button and a volume up and a volume down. Water resistance is no surprise on the Galaxy Note 8 since Samsung been having waterproof phones for about 2 years. The Note 8 is rated IP68, which is going to give you about half an hour, and up to 6 feet of water. So overall guys, it's a beautiful piece of hardware. This is definitely one of the top phones for 2017. Up next, let's talk about the specs and the hardware. Now, to get into a little bit more detail about the cameras, like I said, Galaxy Note 8 does come with two 12 megapixel cameras with optical image stabilization for both. That's the first on the phone. Now, in front of the device, you are getting an 8 megapixel camera. So I have two cameras. The Note 8's first camera is a standard camera, and the second one is a telephoto lens camera, which is going to give you 2 times optical zoom, which means you'll be able to zoom in on your subject without losing detail on the image. I actually prefer that over some other phones with 2 cameras that have a wide angle lens. So right now we are basically getting 2 choices. You either get a phone with a wide angle lens, or you are getting a phone with a 2 times optical zoom like the Note 8. The phone comes with a 33 milliamp battery. It supports fast charge and wireless charging. The screen is a beautiful 6.3 inch display with a 2:1 aspect ratio and an AMOLED display. The phone comes standard with 64 gigabytes of memory, but you do have the option of adding a micro SD card that will get you up to 256 gigabytes of memory. Now the phone should be waterproof even with the S Pen out. I took the S Pen out and I've tested it on the water, and the device works just fine. The phone comes with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 835 processor and 6 gigabytes of RAM, which should give you enough power to do all your multitasking. The Note 8 comes pre-installed with Android 7.1.1 Nougat and is going to run you for about $930. And last but not least, let's talk about the software. Now the phone comes pre-installed with Android 7.1.1 Nougat, but it does have a Samsung Experience skin over it. That's what Samsung calls their official skin, which tweaks the Android software a little bit, but not too much. It should be familiar to all you Android users out there. Now the phone comes with 2 personal assistants, Google's personal assistant and Bixby, which is from Samsung. A lot of people have been having a lot of complaints about Bixby. I personally don't use it that much on the S8. Samsung has to step it up a little bit in order for us to actually use Bixby. So for now, I personally will stick with the Google Assistant, but I'm hoping for Samsung to make improvements on Bixby in the future. The phone comes with your usual security methods, which is fingerprint reader. You can type in your PIN, you can type in your password, you could write a pattern. Samsung was one of the first manufacturers to also use an iris scanner, which comes on the Note 8, and it also has facial recognition. You will also be able to set up Samsung Pay or Android Pay, whichever one you choose. One of my favorite features on the Galaxy Note line was the always-on display memos. Now, without actually having to turn on the device, you can write a memo on the screen by just pulling the S Pen. As soon as the phone detects that you pull the S Pen out, it will give you a blank screen for you to write on. Now, this does not take a lot of juice from your phone, which is great, and it's also very neat when you just need to write down something real quick. Once you write the memo, you have 2 options. One is to save it into your Notes app, or the other is to pin it on the home screen. The spin wheel just gives you different options for you to work with the S Pen. Now stock, you are getting your Note, Smart Select, Screen Write, Live Message, Translate, and some of these are pretty self-explanatory, but let's talk about a few other ones. Smart Select will let you pick a portion of the screen, crop it, and send it as an animated GIF or a picture message. Screen Write takes a screenshot of your whole screen, and it gives you options to either draw on it or edit it and send it to someone else. Live Message is a new feature on the Galaxy Note 8, which lets you jot down a live message with animations and send it to someone. I know what you guys are gonna say. Yeah, we've had that on the iPhone 6 since last year, but with the S Pen, you will be able to make even more detailed pictures and writing. I find it pretty neat, and it's a nice extra feature on the S Pen. Translate is pretty self-explanatory, and with Bixby Vision, you'll be able to point your camera at anything you want, and Bixby should be able to recognize it and give you options of where to shop for it, compare prices, etc. Now, starting on the Note 8, the spin wheel is going to give you the option to add even more icons, but that's your choice. I personally find the S Pen very useful, guys. That's one of the main reasons why I fell in love with the Note line. You just never know when you're gonna need something to jot down. I know you guys are gonna be like, oh, maybe, but trust me, when you need it and you have it, you will understand. Now on the Galaxy Note 8, Samsung has finally decided to go with a dual camera. This is going to give you a lot more options when it comes to taking pictures. So when you launch the camera app, you are going to get 3 options. The first one is Bixby Vision, which I already talked about. The live focus feature is actually using the second camera on the device to differentiate between your subject and the background. You are going to be able to get that blurry professional look that makes the shot look more professional. The difference of this feature on the Note 8 compared to other phones like the iPhone or the LG V30 is that you are able to tweak the amount of blurriness that you want in the background. This is great because sometimes you take the picture and maybe you just don't want it to look too blurry in the back. So with the Note 8, you are able to tone down the blurriness of the background to your own liking. And it's great because you can always edit the picture after you had taken it. Also, every time you take a picture with live focus, the phone actually takes 2 pictures. One with the regular camera and another with the telephoto lens camera. That's going to give you a wider field of view if you decide that the picture you took is just too narrow. And the third option that you get on the camera app is what they call stickers, kind of like Snapchat filters that go over your face, but these are a little bit more animated and they seem to actually track your face a little bit better. The Note 8 does film up to 4K video and 4K pictures front and the back of the device. Another feature that you get with the Samsung skin is what they call App Edge. Now App Edge is a feature that originally came out on the Note Edge back in 2014. I find the calendar widget very useful whenever I need to just pull up my app. I just swipe from the right and I get to see my calendar, upcoming events, etc. It's a pretty quick way to have your calendar ready whenever you want without having to launch an app. And lastly, another feature that I found very neat on the Galaxy Note 8 on split screen, which is pretty cool. You do have a lot of real estate on the display, so it's kind of neat to be able to launch 2 apps at the same time and be able to multitask that way. That's another one of the new features that you get with the Note 8. So there you have it, the Galaxy Note 8. Overall, I find this device to be pretty neat. It stands out above the competition with the S Pen and the larger AMOLED display. If you guys enjoy tech videos, unboxings, and reviews, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for future content. If you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button and also write a comment on the section below. I would love to hear from you guys. This has been your boy Juan, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.